Okay, so we're gonna try something new. It's the beginning of January and it's warm out. Obviously you can see that it is bright. We are making the Craft to Brew Milkshake IPA today. So what this calls for, you've already seen the what's in the kit video, but what we're gonna do, and I guess I should have looked at the instructions a little bit more, but I guess that's what keeps everybody coming back. This is only a 20-minute boil. So I'm heating up all the water. I went with 6.5 gallons. I figured if I'm 2 gallons per hour, 20 minutes, we'll go 6.5, and then what it is after the 20 minutes, we'll cool down to 180, and then we'll add all the hops that are in the hop stand, and we will let it sit for 30 minutes. Now, Craft to Brew on the instructions or the brew day steps say just let it gradually fall, and then after the 30 minutes go ahead and cool it down. I'm not going to get my hose out, so we are just going to do go straight into the fermenter, and we will let it go down on its own. I think it's like 45 out here, but with the sun it makes it feel about 60 as I'm starting to sweat. So I've got my water going, we'll check that, but so we'll go ahead and take a look at the water just so you can see it is 6.5 gallons. So there we go. We are at about 6.5 gallons. Now, oh, I almost need an ND filter for today, but so we are going to let it heat up to 155. That's what Craft to Brew says. We will add the steeping grains. This is an extract kit, so we do have dry malt extract that we will put in once we get to the boil. I decided to do it out back here today just to try out this camera in the garage. I didn't know how well it would work, and with it being so sunny out, I was like, might as well try it. So we'll get to the 155 and then we will be back. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is while our water is coming up to a boil, we are going to put our grains into our mash bag. I would suggest doing the same thing as like I did on the stout. Get a plate so you can pour it in there so the fine dust don't get all over the place. They just get onto the plate. So let's get this first one in there. We can kind of pick it up if you get down far enough. So there's one. Open this back up. There we go. We have our grains. We can go ahead and tie this now. There we go, and now we're ready. We just have to wait. Okay, so we are letting our water come up to temperature. Again, we want it 155, but you always have to drink when you are brewing. Hop Slam, this is the newest version, packaged on 1/2/19. The review will be out soon for that. My guess is you're going to see that review before you see this, but 6-pack, have to get it going. I did start off the day with the Imperial Stout by Craft Brew. I did the review for that and had a couple glasses, but I didn't want to bring that nice glass outside. And if I have Hop Slam, might as well drink it. Okay, so we are almost at 155 degrees. It wants us to steep it and keep that temperature for 20 minutes. I could sit here and turn on the gas, turn it off, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up to about 165, add the grains, put the lid on, and then just let it fall a little bit. If it gets under like 145, then I will turn the gas back on. But to try and keep it at the 155 for 20 minutes is almost impossible without wrap or sitting here for that long. So we are going to get it up to 155. I'll probably add the grains, let it go up to 165, put the lid on it, and then just let it fall. Then, like I said, if it's 145, I'll turn the gas back on and we'll let it come back up. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start steeping them a little, get them wet. And again, I think if I remember correctly from what's in this, there is flaked oats, honey malt, and carapils. So obviously our color isn't going to get very dark. All our color is probably going to come from the DME and some of the hops. So I'm hoping it's a nice yellowish color, but we will have to find out. I'm just going to put that in there, give it a poke a little bit just to get it going, and we should be good. Okay, so we are at 165, so we're going to go ahead and put the lid on it and go ahead and turn off the gas, and we'll check in about 10 minutes just to see how we're doing. Okay, so we are almost done with the steeping of the grains at 155 for 20 minutes. It only went down 5 degrees. It's at 160 right now, but this is my next beer up. Take a look at that. Hop as Leonardo. Picked these up at Bare Hands. So this is my pomegranate blueberry cider. I don't know if you can see all the bubbles in there or not. But okay, let's get this off and get this to a boil. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this lid. Smells like a mash-in, grainy. Okay, let's go ahead and pick up a corner of this. It is going to be hot if I can get it. Then what I'm going to do is, just like in the last one, I'm going to pull it up, put our clamp so it can drain while we're warming up. So we are starting to warm up. So what we'll do, because this is an extract batch, we will bring it up to boil, and then we will turn it off, add the DME and the lactose. Now, this is only a 20-minute boil, so I'm guessing that's why we're adding the lactose then. But we will be back once we reach a boil. Okay, so we are almost at the boil. We are going to go ahead and add our DME. The flame is off. If you are new to brewing, extract brewing, when you add this stuff, you do want to turn the flame off so that way it doesn't scorch on the bottom. So let's see how much of a mess we can make here. So we'll go ahead and start adding some and stirring as we're doing it. Get it all in here. And it is going to clump up. Whoa. There. It is going to clump up on the bag, as you can see, just because of the steam. So let's stir some of this before we put more in there. Looks like milk. Okay, let's go ahead and pour some more. That looks good for right now. Okay, we do have it all in there. Let's go ahead and stir. Try and get it all incorporated in there. We want to make sure we do not have any lumps in there. Okay, there's that. We do have some on the handle. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it off or not. I think that's about all we're going to be able to do. So now, as it says, Craft Brew does do a good job of telling us, but we're going to add the lactose with the malt extract. Go ahead and get this cut open like that. Let's go ahead and dump it all in here, and then we'll stir again. Okay, we've got it stirred up. We'll go ahead and turn the gas back on and get this thing boiling. Okay, so our 20-minute boil is over. I have turned off the gas, and what I'm going to do is put the lid on it. And what this is going to do, because it just got done boiling, it's going to sanitize the lid, and we want it to drop to 180 so we can do our 30-minute hop stand. So I will stir it a couple times while it's still hot, but I will let it fall down to the 180 pretty much on its own. Okay, so now that we are down to 180, got all the hops in my pocket, we're going to add the Simco, Citra, and last but not least, the Mosaic. So let's go ahead and get those into my hot bag. Okay, so now what we can do is move the lid over a little, and we will dip this a little, put this in there. I'm gonna actually do it to the handle so that way the lid will sit on there, and I'm gonna give it a little stir. Smells good. There we go. And we will start a timer for a half hour. So, as you can see, we are finishing up the brew day. We are now transferring our wort into the fermenter, and in 4 days, we will add the first dry hop, and that will consist of 1 ounce of Simco, 1 ounce of Mosaic, and 1 ounce of Citra. Then 10 days into fermentation, we will add a pound of toasted coconut. Craft to Brew does supply this coconut, but you will have to toast it. Set your oven to 300. Put the coconut on a cookie sheet. Put it in there. I would suggest 5 minutes. Take it out. Move everything around. Put it back in there for about 5 minutes. Make sure you're watching it because it will go quick. Mine took about 10 minutes and then it was done. As I said, we will add this 10 days into fermentation along with the second dry hop, which would be 1 ounce of Mosaic, 1 ounce of Citra, and 1 ounce of Simco. Overall fermentation for this is 14 days. Craft to Brew says after the 14-day mark to bottle it or keg it. Mine is in the keg. Our original gravity was 1062 and Craft to Brew called for a 1068. So we are a little bit lower, but in the end, I think we will be fine. I do know the outcome of this, but we will go over the rest of this on the tasting video. So thanks to Craft to Brew for sending this. Let me know if you guys have any comments down below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, happy brewing.